Hello everyone, my name is Simran, and with the rest of my team, we will present our project, which is about Canada's CETA and Brexit. We will elaborate it further with Ankita, Ahmed, and Piyush, including myself.
Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed and today I'm going to talk about Brexit. So, what is Brexit? After an intense campaign, the United Kingdom held a referendum on June 23, 2016 to determine its membership of the European Union. The vote was determined by the small majority of 51.9% of total voters who voted in favor of leaving the European Union. The campaign is referred to as Brexit because of the Britain's act of exiting the European Union. Britain and European Union also negotiated as to how the UK will leave the European Union in the year of 2019, but officially left. Understanding the votes would help answer the question of why Brexit happened. Many people in favor of Brexit voted for economic reasons. The left behind individuals comprising of less educated, low skilled, and blue collar workers, they were the people who voted for the United Kingdom to leave the Union. Immigration was the second reason why people voted for Brexit campaign. The European Union allowed the inward and outward migration flow. The immigration of the United Kingdom since 1994 has always been higher than immigration. The European Union expansion through the accession of Ireland, Sweden, Bulgaria, and Romania increased the net immigration to more than 200,000 every year. Britain political leaders tried to reduce the number of immigrants, but they were unsuccessful. The higher number of immigrants was also linked to lower wages amongst the unskilled workers. As a result, the Britons voted for Brexit to regulate immigrants and control economic growth. So, is UK a winner or a loser? There are two possible scenarios, we can say. So, in the event UK will leave with no deal, it will be forced to trade with the European Union following the World Trade Organization's guidelines. As a result, there will be increased restrictions on foreign domestic investments, high tariffs, and multiple import and export barriers. The factors will lead to decline in trade activities and production, which would further lead to more unemployment cases and high cost of living in the United Kingdom. The UK would be a loser in this first scenario. In the second scenario, if the UK manages to negotiate a deal with the European Union like Norway did, the trade barriers would be very few. Britons will also be in a position to negotiate new deals with other countries, which would help in increasing the revenue. The UK could negotiate with the European Union on reciprocal rights that cover the movement of people, such as tourism, employment, retirement, and education. Reduction of immigration could significantly increase economic growth. This method would help in a smooth transition. Nonetheless, in the short term, Britain would be a loser. There will be negative impacts on the EU as well regarding Brexit. The migration of skilled and unskilled workers would potentially affect the levels of innovation within the region. The economic decline will also be slightly felt in the European Union in the form of GDP and welfare reduction. Trade barriers will also lead to high cost of imprinted products in the European Union and might lead to low demand and consumption of goods and services. Reduction in trade precipitates other changes such as decrease in production and leading to low earnings.
So, hello everyone, I am Ankita and I'm here to talk about the effects of Brexit. So here we have short-term and long-term effects. So first I'm going to talk about short-term effects. So once the country vote to leave the European Union, then the negotiation is supposed to take 2 years. And the vote people did to leave the European Union will definitely shock the market. And due to that, there will be a fall in the currency rate. And if the value of pound will decrease, then there will be decrease in the import, and if due to decrease in the imports, price of commodity will be affected and people have to pay more prices will be increased, and if people have to pay more prices as compared to the general prices they are paying before, so that's not good. Then people have to pay, then people gonna be affected. And here we have long-term effects. So as the European market was supposed to foreign trade for the UK. So after Brexit, the UK will lose sizable European market, which will lead to change in the production, wages, capital, remuneration, and this will gonna be create a downfall in the economy, because if they have a no big trade where they gonna import and export their products, so definitely there will be downfall in the economy, and it will also increase the trade barriers as like tariffs and duties on import export. So due to this, the prices of commodity will be increased, because when taxes and duties are added to the commodities, then it will increase. So there will be downfall in the economy. So people have to face it. Like that's not good condition for the United Kingdom people. And here we have Canada-UK trade relationship. So as we all know that Brexit happened on 31st January 2020, and the United Kingdom is in a transition period until 31st December 2020, and the trade relationship, the Canada and UK trade relationship depends on European Union and United Kingdom trade. And if there is no deal Brexit, no advantage for the United Kingdom for trade deals such as CETA, and the United Kingdom was taking being in European Union, which means that bilateral trade between the Canada and UK will come on under the MNF rules, which is most favored nation rule, and there will be tariffs and customs and more paperwork will be they have to do for the trades, and so this will create a delay in the trade between United Kingdom and Canada. So, but we are hoping that the United Kingdom and Canada will come with any trade agreement to save their time and money. So, thank you so much.
So I will discuss the specific industries and businesses affected by the Brexit in both countries, Canada and the UK. Now, as per the Summit G20 meeting last year, Justin Trudeau and David Boris agreed informally for a free trade deal, which should basically increase the export and import industries, having to send more raw materials such as the crude oil, nickel, minerals, petroleums, oil are the main sector of export. But on the other hand, we have to bear in mind that with the Brexit, the couple of first year, British pound will have a flux of decrease. It will lose its currency value, and that will be a negative point for investors. They won't be entrusted to invest in the UK. 60% of Canadian investors are investing in the UK, so that will be the downfall for them. But on the longer term, there will be stronger environmental, climate change, policies reviewed, and solid political alliances as well. The next slide is about Canada-EU, which is the trading seal of their relationship. CETA is the contract signed, which means the Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement. It was signed in 2016 by Canada and the European Union members. The main aim of the contract was to eliminate 98% of the tariff for all the export-import, removing all the barriers, who can decrease the economy, the growth economy of both continents. Again, the huge benefit of this trade relationship, it's cutting red tape, which is an idiom to basically describe the end or elimination of all the the time, the long time they're taking for decision making, agreeing on or finalizing administration tasks, licensing, getting the goods across the borders. That's basically all cut out, and it's a very smooth process. Also, this contract gives access to the EU government procurement contracts, which mean that Canada has directly access to all the regional, national, European governments in terms of any issues or any matter. There's such a smooth transition, a smooth way of discussion at every level. There is also liberation of services. That means there's a free movement of, high skilled talent. Could be businessmen, could be students, employees in both countries and both of those continents at a very low cost. This free movement can happen. And there is a regulatory cooperation, which means that having a product in any market requires a certain amount of, you need to have a certain standard to be on the market, and having that cooperation on both level. So some Canadian products, for example, they do not require to go through the EU market standards testing before being on the market. So they don't lose time. They both work on the same standards, and there's such a smooth transition of goods on both markets. Lastly, I will discuss about the specific Canadian and European Union businesses and industries who could be impacted by this, or who have been impacted by CETA. There are a lot of industries affected. So first of all, there's such a strong political security and judicial alliances altogether. There is a whole transparency of both continents to work on those sections. Trade and investment, a huge increase, a huge opportunity for both continent to invest, increase their import-export values in terms of volume as well. Science and technology, all the innovation in the market again is very easily shared together. There is a huge scope of improvement on that level as well. We have the energy sector. Again, having this contract, it just smooths out the whole process of having raw material, raw energies shared for obviously business reasons. Chemical and waste management. Now, bearing in mind, we have huge industries, huge factories in different sectors throughout the world. And this contract is literally helping to build up a cooperation on how to have an effective waste management, disposal system. Or is there any way they can work around, for example, the climate change issue, or any environmental issue? So yeah. And lastly as well, we have fishery and agriculture. That basically sums up as saying that this contract gives huge opportunity again in volume and business value as well to be shared in both continents.
So if we talk about the changes in business after CETA, so let me tell you about what exactly CETA is. CETA is a free trade agreement between the European Union, and it is provisionally applied, thus removing 98% of pre-existing tariffs between two parts. And the changes after CETA were trade, exports and imports were increased, and it reduced the tariffs on exporters and importers, and Canadian exporters will be profited by treatment for the items that are made in Canada. Agriculture and Agri-Nourishment Organization will be profited by expanding their business to European Union markets. And if we talk about what type of agreement between UK and Canada is, it is a free trade agreement with Canada, provides the early and relatively straightforward win to the UK as well as Canada. Canada's trade diversification strategy and progressive trade agenda. It is also important for both countries to complete and deal to avoid disruptions for the flows of trade and commerce between two countries. It providing safeguards to protect the environment, social standards, including labor adjustment supports. If we talk about the difference between Canada and UK trade agreement and CETA, so the difference is just CETA is affiliated commerce of understanding among Canada and European Union. It is more its motivation is to advance financial development between two parties. And if we talk about the Canada and UK trade agreement, it is just are connected by means of EU to in any event 94 bargains and worldwide understanding. The UK and Canada have settlements in 7 general classes: exchange, administrative, co-activity, fisheries, transport, atomic, and horticulture. Thank you.